Welcome to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and today we'll feature one of our most successful football programs at Central, along with the AD and the baseball coach from Booker T, John Potocnik. We'll also have the volleyball coaches from Edison and Booker T to discuss their season. We'll have Rob Kaiser, who's the principal of Monroe Demonstration and one of his coaches as well, and we'll finish the program with Krystel Markwardt and Mick Wilson. We'll be right back with Taylan Nero, the head volleyball coach at Booker T. Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Our first guest today is Taylan Nero, and she's the head volleyball coach at Booker T, Washington. And man, what a season. You were here in August.
What a season. Yes, I was.
You know. Well, let's talk about some of the highlights that got you where you are today.
Okay, so where do we start? I guess our first game was against Sand Springs, and at the beginning of the season, we went to 5 with them, and I was blown away with how hard my girls were working, and it made me think, okay, we might have a shot this season, you know. And then we went over and won. One of our goals was to win a tournament this season, and so we actually ended up winning 2 tournaments, Union and Bartlesville tournament, and then did pretty well in a lot of our tournaments. And so we got some wins over Owasso, and we did some great things this season. So.
What do you think the highlight of the season, other than, we'll talk about the regional in a minute?
Well, I will say things shifted when we won our Union tournament. That was a big deal for us. We played a lot of 6A teams in that tournament. We saw Edmond Santa Fe and a few Edmond schools, and then we also, we played BK during that, Bishop Kelly, and we won against them. And so I think that was a huge confidence boost leading us into the season. And so definitely coming out with the win on that made us all feel like, you know, we can do this. Although we thought we could do it, it made us, you know, it proved that we could.
Sure.
So
I've always said when I was coaching that to play the best, that's how you get better.
Exactly.
You know,
and that's all our season was.
Yeah, you need to get better. You got to play. You got to see where you are.
Yeah.
With the benchmark that the other ones have. So as you get into the middle of the season and everything, who are some of your outstanding players?
So I'll start with Ariana Brown. She's our outside hitter. She plays 6 rotations, and so she actually got her 1,000th kill this year. And so she is only a sophomore, and so within 2 years, not even 2 years, about a season and a half, she was able to hit that 1,000th mark kill-wise. And so we also have our second 6 rotation outside, Carly Alexander. Her real name's Carlene, but she also is wonderful in that position as well and keeps us afloat, that's for sure. And we have Allison DeTolo, who is our libero, and she's leading in Oklahoma in digs, and so that's phenomenal. And then back to Ari really quick, I just do want to point out that she is 6th in the nation for kills, and that's in the nation, and so that's pretty awesome. And lastly, we have Brenna Weaver, who is our setter, and so she also plays 6 rotations at setter and got her 1,000th assist this season. So we're on top here.
Do you have some that will play after this?
For sure. My team is small though, and it's small, yes, but they're also young. Okay. And so I have 4 seniors who are graduating, and none of them are going to go and play college volleyball, but my sophomores and juniors most definitely will sign somewhere. And so we got a few years though until we get there.
Well, let's talk about the big tournament.
The big tournament's coming.
The regional.
Yes.
And you went to you hosted, which
yes,
is always
we did
good.
host, and that was amazing. I mean, that hasn't happened for Booker T Washington volleyball in over a decade.
Oh, sure.
So
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe plus. So.
Well, tell us about that.
So I actually played in 2016, 2012 to 2016, and I wasn't able to do that. We didn't host. We did go to regionals, but we didn't host. And so at the beginning of the season, I just let our girls know that, we are capable of doing a lot this year, breaking some records, doing some things that Booker T. Washington Volleyball hasn't seen in a very long time. And so being able to host was beautiful. I mean, we were able to have the hospitality room, just be it was a big deal. Be at home, and our crowd was amazing, and we've had extremely phenomenal support this entire season. And so for being a coach and being able to be alumni from Booker T, it just hits home for me.
Man,
So it was amazing.
Well, in the last minute we have here, let's talk about the state tournament.
Oh, yes.
You play Glenpool.
Yes, we just found out today.
On Thursday.
Yes. And we're excited. I mean, Hammer is one of my good friends over there. He's the head coach at Glenpool. So he coached me when I was a kid. So it'll be some fun.
And you get to play here in town.
We do. We get to play at the UMAC, so that'll be wonderful. So I'm hoping we get a big crowd.
Big crowd, you bet. Well, Taylan, good luck.
Well, thank you so much.
You got a young team, so I'm sure we'll have you back next year.
Yeah, I'm like, let's 2-time this thing.
Absolutely, or 3.
Right, or 3 or 4.
Whatever it takes. But so that's 11:15 on Thursday at the UMAC on the campus of Union High School. And let's get out and support our Lady Hornets.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank
good
you.
luck. And
Thank
when
you
we come
so
back,
much.
We'll have Kip Shaw, who's the head football coach at Central High School.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right. Only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hales means that you have to be consistent, outgoing, and be dedicated because students at Nathan Hale look up to the football team.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hale has taught me to be confident and disciplined and always to be open-minded and always ready to work with people no matter how difficult it is.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have the head football coach of the Central Braves, Kip Shaw. Kip, welcome to the show.
Appreciate you guys having me.
I tell you what, midway through the season here, we're in that district battle now. Every game, every week counts, doesn't it?
It does. Season's been exciting. We're fighting every week. So every win, everything counts right now trying to get to the playoffs.
What do you think some of the highlights thus far through the first 6 weeks here?
The biggest thing is the kids have gotten better every week. They're playing hard, got a lot of growing pains. Like I said earlier, we're such a young football team, and that's really kind of surprised us. You got a sophomore quarterback, and I think I've got one senior on the O-line, and everybody else is freshmen and sophomores. So we're really, really young on both sides of the ball, and that's exciting for the future. But these kids nowadays, they want that instant gratification, so that's why they're working hard and trying to win every week. And their hard work paid off last week with a big win over Inola.
Big homecoming win.
It was a big, exciting win. Like you said earlier, it took every single minute. The quarterback, little Trey Pope, did a great job of throwing a touchdown pass with 1:12 left, 4th down, and goal, and he kept his cool, and Aiden Guest made a big play. We were just fortunate. When you win close ball games like that, it helps the team kind of bond together, but it also shows just how resilient we are.
When you started out during the preseason practice and the All-City, which was, you were successful in the All-City, did you have any idea that you would be this competitive this soon with these young kids?
I did not think we would be. In August, we saw some glimpses of how good we could be, and then, we win All-City. But then we go out and not taking anything from McLean. We just really showed our youth. Coach Ponder's done a great job with that program, and we just kind of went out there and I think we were a little intimidated. And so the kids made a lot of mistakes that we hadn't seen them make before. And it's kind of grown. We made the same mistakes when we got to district play against Verdigris and Cassia Hall, but the good thing is we've gotten better each week. And as long as we keep doing that, then you see the positive and the growth in the program.
Absolutely. As a coach, I always learned a lot more from my losses than I did my wins.
And I'm the same way. And, that's the big thing about these kids. You're able to get them in there, show them the film, and let them see, this is what you learned all week. And then you went out there, kind of did things on your own way, get back to your technique and listen to your coach. And you show them the negative plays, but you show them a lot of the positive plays when they do right.
Right. I got to hug those necks. That's always important to keep those kids engaged. Well, as you look at, we're getting ready this week, a matter of fact, tonight, because this airs on Friday, so you'll be playing Holland Hall. How do you look at the Dutchmen?
They are, Coach Gross does a good job over there. They always have a strong football team. They are, they've got some great athletes. They're disciplined. We're going to have to play they'll be the best team we've played to date. We'll have to play our A game. Like I told the kids this week, we can't make any mistakes, no turnovers, no missed tackles. If we do what we're supposed to do, we'll come out successful. If not, then we'll be on the other side. So hopefully the film that they've watched and the 2 good practices we've had this week, it's almost better to have a short week sometime because your energy is a little different and you're a little bit more focused, trying to get ready a little bit faster. And I think that's really helped us this week. So if we do those things and they apply to the game, then we should be successful.
It's a lot tougher as you get through your practice routine. As the season wears on, it's so routine, and so to show that improvement, but when you have young players like you do, you have a good opportunity every day that you get them on the field to get better.
Absolutely, and that's important. The more reps and more muscle memory we're able to build into them, and the more they hear, corrections, and the more opportunities we have to love them up and things like that. That's important. So, that's what's helped us build a successful program at Central.
You've got one going. Briefly, we've got a minute and a half here. Tell me about your junior high program.
The junior high program is really strong. Coach Goodman's done a great job. They won both, 6th and 7th grade and our 8th grade. They've got about 30 to 40 kids out there. They're exciting to watch. A lot of great young athletes. Hopefully we're able to, as always, keep them. But, they're doing a good job in the classroom as well. And that's probably been the most impressive that, we don't have those kind of eligibility problems that we've had in the past. And so it's carrying over to the field and their play. He's got a lot of good assistant coaches helping him. Good men. I think that's the biggest thing. We put a lot of positive men in front of our kids, and that's really, really helped us in our community.
Well, that role model is always important to look forward to see the coach and everything. I think that's fantastic, and the numbers are good. And,
absolutely.
That's great. Well, Kip, good luck this week and the rest of the season. And we get you in the playoffs, we'll probably have you back sometime.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Coach.
All right, good luck. And when we come back, we'll have Ron Smith, who is the head volleyball coach of the Monroe Demonstration School.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field, and that it's the littlest things that will make all the difference in the long run.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with, not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have a special guest, Ron Smith, who's the head volleyball coach at Monroe Demonstration. Ron, been in the district a long time. Tell us about your background.
Well, I'm a North Sider. I grew up elementary school, went to Hawthorne Elementary, went to Monroe and Gilcrease, and that was a interesting situation there where I went to Monroe in the 6th grade. They changed the boundary right down the middle of my street. So then the 7th, 8th grade, I had to go to Gilcrease.
Oh my goodness.
So we survived that.
Sure.
And then I went to McLean, where I finished up in the north side. Yeah.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. And then when you started coaching,
I started coaching. Actually, I started coaching with my dad. My dad is kind of the one that kind of got me into, wanting to work with kids, because I watched how the kids looked up to him, and even though as they got older, I would see the grown men come back and they would still remember him, and it's like they looked up to him so much. And I said, that's what I want to do.
you bet. You don't forget the coach. You may forget the English teacher, but you don't forget the coach. You spend so much time together.
Yes, sir.
And the laughing and the crying and the bleeding and the sweating and everything together. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
So you coached volleyball for quite a while.
Oh yeah, I was at Wilson. I think that's when I first started coaching volleyball. I was at Wilson Middle School before it closed, and I've been coaching it ever since with the girls.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell us about Monroe. Your program there, you won the All-City this year. So tell us how you put that together and about some of your kids.
Well, it was kind of rough at first because especially you want to start with the girls who really it doesn't start with any, most of them don't start with any skill,
right?
At all.
Hadn't played, yeah.
Yeah, they hadn't played before, and basically my demeanor was just teach them the basic skills of, passing and hitting and serving, So just teaching the basic skills, and I told them winning is not important, especially at this level. My main thing was just to get the girls to learn the game, and they grow more interested in it. It could be beneficial to them. If they really wanted to play it, they can keep playing it through high school. And, of course, a lot of our kids can't afford college. So I asked them to use your God-given talent, that God gave you, and you can use this and help you go on to college.
Makes a lot of difference, I think, to have that type of attitude, especially with middle school athletics.
Yes.
To have that a requisite that fundamentals are the basic thing we got to get. I used to tell when I was a director at Union, I told our junior high coaches, I don't care what your record is, just get them ready for the next level.
Right.
It's for that kid, and and we want to have a great experience because a lot of kids are not going to be athletes their entire life. So this is the one chance they have, to actually perform in front of people and everything. But so as you look at your program coming in the future, how's it look?
It looks pretty good. We've gotten more and more of especially of our sixth graders. I've got a couple of sixth graders on the team that won the All-City this year, and most of it is just natural talent, And so we just try to hone in on that and just continue to build on the skills that they have, because a lot of girls at that level, especially serving, they don't have the strength or the upper body strength to do an overhead serve. So I just try to build and try to get some of the coaches in that can help them do that.
So now your court's the same size as the high school court, right?
Same size.
So that's for some of those little ones.
Those little ones, they struggle with that.
Sure.
But, they just have to continue to do it. I try to do some of the programs and some of the exercises that help strengthen, for some of those skills.
What do you think the best thing about Monroe Demonstration School is?
I think the kids have bought into some of the things that they can succeed in. And just try to build on that. A lot of them come in, Coach, I don't know how to play basketball. I said, well, that ain't your job. That's my job. I'll help you to be the volleyball player that you want to be.
Sure.
So you just have to show an interest and just do the thing that you need to do to get better.
if they have a willingness to learn, you've got a chance.
They do.
You know,
They do.
I used to tell them all the time. I said, I know we're going to have good coaches for you, but you've got to take the coaching.
Yeah.
And if you don't take the coaching, it doesn't make any difference.
That's right. That's true.
Well, good luck in the future. We'll hope to have you back with another city championship
Well, I hope so.
next year. And when we come back, we'll have Ron's principal, Rob Kaiser, the principal at Monroe Demonstration Center.
Hey, Tulsa, we have a crushing recycle play of the day for you. Team Johnson versus paper and cardboard.
They're starting off slow today, probably trying to figure out what to do with those styrofoam plates, since they're not recyclable.
There's the big play we were waiting for. Boom! Completely empty cardboard boxes dunked in the cart. Score big by recycling your cardboard and paper. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have a special guest. Not often we have principals, but the principal of Monroe Demonstration School, Rob Kaiser. Dr. Rob Kaiser.
Yes.
Congratulations on that.
Thank
That's
you, Gil.
fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're glad you're here.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to this point in your career.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Northeast PA. I went to school and played 4 years of basketball at the University of Lynchburg in Virginia and got a PE degree. And at the time, I had heard about a program called Teach for America. Applied and so came out to Tulsa. Had never been here before. I took my '98 Mercury Tracer across the country, and I've really been here ever since 2013. I started at Cooper Elementary School, taught 4th grade, got an opportunity to teach PE. Was really living the dream. I mean, I was coaching basketball. I was doing bike club and all this kind of great stuff, and had the opportunity to step into an assistant principal role with Dr. Kiana Smith in 2017 at Monroe, and really have been there ever since.
And 1 year you were Teacher of the Year.
Yeah, I was Teacher of the Year for Tulsa Public Schools in 2016. So.
Well, we're glad you're here, and you've done a really, really great job in getting that school, I think, where it is today. As you look at the growth of Monroe from where it was, say, 5 years ago, what do you think the most outstanding achievement that you've been able to occur?
I think it comes down to just the day-to-day, like our students having the opportunities, and it really, Mr. Thomas, our expanded learning coordinator, has done a fantastic job. We have over 30 opportunities for kids to participate in after-school and expanded learning opportunities. I can't ever speak about some of the success we have at Monroe without talking about our teachers. Most important people in the building. They have done a tremendous job, set high expectations, working through grade level curriculum. And so when I look back like 5 years ago till now, the day-to-day students are having multiple opportunities to participate not only in athletics but different activities that they're interested in. Fully staffed, got a great team at Monroe, and so just consistency, I think, has been the biggest thing for us, continuing to push forward, continuing to have a really clear vision for where we want Monroe to go. And just like in sports, working there every day. And also like in sports, we don't always get a win. And so, how do you lose on a Friday night and come back Saturday ready to work? And so very synonymous to my athletic background and the work that we've done kind of coming up. So
that's fantastic. As a principal, the activities program obviously is important. One of the things that when I was in other districts as a director, we would go around to the 6th grade and recruit for the junior high and so on. But I would tell those kids, get involved in something. Because if you're involved, I don't care if it's music, speech, debate, athletics, whatever it is, because those kids have a better tendency to stay in school and matriculate academically all the way through where they should.
Absolutely.
It's that I call it the group or gang membership there. I'm in the athletic gang, and I'm going to be a part of that. And I've got peers and everything. So as a principal, how important is an athletic program to you?
Really, I mean, it is so important. I can't even put it into words. I think the importance of athletics and the activity portion of the day. Of course, like our role is academics and really growing reading, really growing those math levels and really preparing kids for when they go to McLean High School. But when it comes to athletics, my whole family, my mom was a gymnast at Wisconsin. My brother's a Division III head coach at Adrian College, coaches basketball. My other two brothers wrestled, one at East Stroudsburg and one at the University of Pennsylvania. And so athletics has been a huge role and part in my life. And you know, the memories that you make, the life lessons that you learn, like I talked about earlier, so much of the job that I have, the lessons that you learn in athletics about, you know, how to take a loss and how to keep moving forward and how to, you know, fail but continue to try and how to succeed in some areas. I think it's been tremendous, and especially in the middle grades when, you know, you're trying to kind of figure out where am I going to go, who am I going to be, what am I going to be a part of. Athletics and great coaches like Coach Smith, who you just had on, they are the foundation in so many words of
well, you
building
know,
that.
I think the important thing in the National Federation as well as the Activity Association has really emphasized education-based athletics.
Yes.
I mean, that's where it is, and we are here. I used to tell them even when I was at the university level, when we'd have our all-student athlete meeting at the beginning of the year, I said, while you're at this university, you'll take a lot of trips, but to me, the most important trip you take is across the stage your senior year.
Absolutely.
That's the critical thing, I think.
Absolutely.
And if you look at it from that standpoint, to move those kids, keep them in school, because they got to be here, mandatory attendance and academic. You're gonna move them through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Rob, thank you for being here today.
Absolutely.
Good luck for the rest of the year. And when we come back, we'll have Lauren Merrill, who's the head volleyball coach at Edison.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right, only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
I feel like athletics is so important at Tulsa Central because it's an outlet for some of our kids there. They get a better opportunity to basically give back to our community.
At McLean, the sports is what mainly drives a bunch of the students to come to school every single day and work hard because they want to be able to come from the classroom to the field or the court and show at what they're good at.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have Lauren Merrill, who is the head volleyball coach at Edison Eagles and also assistant athletic director. Lauren, you had an outstanding year. Started out with the All-City. Talk about some of the highlights.
You know, we were really excited this year. We have a young group, but they're experienced because they play club. We hosted All-City, which is always fun to defend your home turf, and we came undefeated.
Excellent. Well, good. So you got through into the season, and talk about that and some of the players that contributed.
So we just finished up regionals on Monday. We came up a little short, but still had a good year. We were ranked every week. We have some really great younger kids like Reagan Stoops that really contributed. She's a sophomore, and a really solid class of juniors like our libero, Jaylee Bird, who's really doing well and pushing herself, and we're excited to see what she can do next year.
Oh, that's good. You have a good number out, I noticed, looking at your website.
Yeah, we had a great turnout this year between high school and middle school. We had over 100 girls try out, and I wish we could keep them all.
Sure.
I wish I had the staff and the space, but we're really happy with the growth that we're having at Edison.
What do you think causes that the increase in numbers?
I really try to go out to the school and connect with the kids. And I also know that when our girls are passionate about playing and talking with their friends, of course, they're the greatest word of mouth that we can get.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So you say you have a lot of kids that play club. Do they start in the junior high age group playing club, or do they matriculate to the high school to do that?
We have a little bit of both. There's some kids that have started when they're 9, 10, 11, 12, and then there's some that come in freshman year and they're athletic, and we encourage them to seek out club to help grow their skills in our off season.
Are there a number of club teams in the Tulsa area?
Club is really big in Tulsa.
Is
So
it?
there's a lot of opportunities for kids to get extra playing time.
How can they find out about those?
There's a website for the Oklahoma volleyball region,
I see.
and there's, like I said, there's chances for everyone.
Yeah, good, excellent. Well, as I looked at your website, I thought it's well done.
Thank you.
By the way, but I emphasize the 5 things that your players need to commit to. Could you talk about those? First one is got to commit 100% to the program.
Yeah, so something that we do is like mental training off the court to talk about mental toughness. And we have a few different things we do. We read a book together as a team, and we work a lot of goals, and we have journals that we work through to try to work on the other side of the game that's outside of the physical. And sometimes we like to share those things from our coaches' resources so that parents know what our goals are and kind of the pillars of our program, because it can make a difference.
That's good. Get better every day?
It's getting better every day. We always just say, like, you have to think there's a microscope and a telescope, and when you look at a microscope, you're looking at the little things, and then when you zoom out, you can see the big picture. So we're just working towards every rep making us a little better.
That's a good analogy. And then the next one was stay positive.
Yep, I think it's really important. So we really try to push positivity, and at the end of every practice, we finish with something you did well, a teammate did well, or something you learned. So we're always ending on a positive note, even if maybe it was a struggle on practice or a game. That way we're just not going home and dwelling on just the negative things, because that's where our mind tends to go.
And then you got to commit to the team mission.
Absolutely. It's on our goals. Our goals are on our whiteboard every day. So they see them at practice. They're in our locker room. So we're constantly reminding ourselves why we're here and what we're doing.
And stay committed to your teammates.
Absolutely. You can't do it alone. Volleyball's a team sport.
Exactly. So. Yeah, you get 6 at a time. You got to be ready to play. So as you look at your junior high program and your good numbers, I guess the future looks pretty bright.
Yeah, we're really excited. Our A team this year finished first in All City for the A team division, and our B team finished third. So we're really excited. They really learned. I was excited because I got to coach A team this year, and I really tried to push them to the next level. The first day of practice, I said, I'm not a middle school coach, I'm a varsity coach. So you're my mini varsity. And they did really well. They only lost 2 games all season, and it was out of league, but they went undefeated during TPS play.
Well, seeing the head coach, I'm sure always helps too, to keep those kids engaged in the program.
I think so. I think even when I haven't been coaching, I think it's important for me to be there. So I try to go to their games and make an appearance. And we try to encourage all of our coaches at Edison to do that. That's how you grow.
The esprit de corps is really important within the department. If you have to support it. I used to tell our guys, I said, you need to get your players to come to this game, because if our own athletes won't support us, what's the student body going to do? What's the patrons going to do?
Yeah.
And they won't support us either. So
I completely agree.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck throughout the rest of this year. And when we come back, we'll have John Potocnik, who's the Director of Athletics at Booker T. Washington.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against a tough competitor, plastic.
Don't trust those numbers on the bottom. You have to stick to what you know. Only bottles and jugs found in the kitchen, bath, or laundry. They're quick to pick up. And empty those bottles before sinking that shot.
Always empty your bottles before recycling. Score big by recycling your plastic bottles and jugs. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
I love Will Rogers Athletics because it helped me physically, spiritually, and emotionally through all the journeys I've been through at that school. All of the support staff helped me a lot, and it's just an amazing school.
Athletics at Will Rogers changed my life because it became a second family. With the support of my coaches and teammates, it's helped me gain confidence, work as a team, and will help me in college and in life.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have John Potocnik, the Director of Athletics. Booker T. Washington is also the head baseball coach. John, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your role. You've been in 6A too. You've moved down to 5A this year. Talk about the ebbs and flows there of your position, making those transitions and so on.
With my position, it doesn't really affect me that much as far as, you still got to schedule the games and officials and buses, and it may have increased our travel a little bit for our basketball teams. Softball was still 6A this year, so it did, they still had to travel quite a bit, and so to the city, but being down in 5A, we have a little bit more sense of excitement, I think, by the students and the opportunities that are going to be available to them as far as, having a chance to qualify for the state tournaments.
Yeah. Well, and of course, it will make a lot of difference this next year because you've had a good feeder in softball and you're moving down to 5A, so you should have some players coming in from.
We do, and softball's, it's going to take a few years, but they were freshmen and sophomores this year competing in 6A, and then next year they'll have some juniors, and so we'll have a good class of freshmen coming in, as long as they all come, and so they'll be getting stronger every year.
Right. Of course, it really affects other sports as well. The football is in the 2-year cycle, so it's going to be a while for that. But once you get through that, which is this year, right?
Yes. Next year will be 5A.
5A, that's going to be and people don't realize the numbers are so critical at the 6A level. I used to tell them all the time, going through that transition at Union. When I went there, we had 500 kids, and when I left, we had 2,800 in the high school. The biggest difference was if we got somebody hurt when we had 2,800, we just put somebody else in.
Yes.
When you have 500, you don't have somebody else
to
put in, or somebody's ineligible, or somebody moves away. There's so many things that affect those numbers, so that makes a lot of difference. As you look at your overall program, you think that'll manifest in a lot of success this year?
I think so. We feel that we'll be a lot stronger in a lot of different sports and have an opportunity to make the playoffs, where if we were in 6A, we may not have that opportunity. And so, we're going to try every year to make playoffs, no matter 5A, 6A, but we just feel we have a better opportunity in 5A.
What do you think from your position as the director, the basketball districts?
They're going to be different just because you're playing a lot of teams you haven't played before. There's no rivalries, and so we're
no conference.
There's no conference, and so we're worried about number one, gate, because we had established some rivalries in the 6A and with the Frontier Valley Conference, and it's going to be good, hard games every night, and so we just don't know what to expect, with the 5A and
more
so,
travel,
and a little bit more travel,
yeah.
and so we had a little bit of travel, but not much in the Frontier Valley Conference.
Right. It's not too bad. As the head baseball coach, you've had your 1 hour a day, I guess,
yes,
to work out, and then after the first of the year, you get to go full. But how you look at that moving into 5A?
you know, once again, like you talked about, is depth, and so I mean, there's some really good 5A teams, and so it's going to still be tough. We're going to have to play well to be able to qualify for the state tournament, and but the one good thing is if you can get in somebody's bullpen, it's not like the 6A level where they're still running out guys throwing 86 and above.
Yeah, you got a starter
so
coming out of the bullpen. Yeah,
there's a big difference in that part and the depth overall.
Sure. Scheduling not a problem with the change?
No, that's not a problem. We're still playing some of the 6A teams that we've played before, and so we're still staying mainly around the Tulsa area and doing most of our games. We do have a couple out-of-state teams coming to play us, but other than that, our schedule's pretty well the same.
You're taking your trip this year?
Yeah, we're still going to go to Florida this year, and so and see how it goes.
You bet. That's always a good trip. We used to do that when I was out south there. We had that Florida trip. Was good for the kids. Well, good luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Good luck to your volleyball team. Plays in the state tournament this week, and we'll have you back when we get to baseball season.
All right.
When we come back, we'll have Krystel Markwardt, the Deputy Director of Athletics.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have Krystel Markwardt, Deputy Director of Athletics and Supervisor of the fast pitch softball in the district. And this year we took a little bit different tact with softball.
We did. We decided, we worked with Eddie Wright over at Oklahoma City and decided to put our two districts together and try to let our kids have a little bit more success just because of where we were, participation numbers, skill level, you know, that kind of thing. And it's really been a success for our kids this year.
Well, heck, success on the field is part of the learning teaching process. Yes. So what does the future look like? You know, you've been around softball forever. I've been around softball forever. It has to start very young.
It has to.
For it to matriculate at the high school level.
So our goal right now, this year our goal was just to increase our numbers and to let our kids go to these games and play a whole season where they're still feeling, you know, confident and feeling good about themselves and their production on the field. And with that being said, we went from last year, none of our teams won more than 4 games, and this year we've got teams that have won 11 and 12 games.
Oh yeah.
And just the confidence that I've seen those kids have when they walk into the tournament that we had last week, our participation numbers, we're not searching the hallways, you know, right before regionals to get kids to go, and they were excited and showed up and played really well. So that was done. Our goal for this next year is to increase participation numbers in our middle school programs. And with us starting that middle school softball, we did that this year and played within our own district. Some of the teams stepped out and played teams like Holland Hall that are on our same skill level. But our goal is this summer we're going to put together our coaches from our district, along with myself. We're going to put together some clinics for our kids, just free clinics for them to come out. Obviously, I'll get to do the pitching part of that, which is really needed because our kids, you know, they start late. So we're going to focus on that for about 2 weeks in June. Let all the kids from, you know, 6th grade up come and enjoy some of that and learn. And we hope that will increase our participation numbers. The biggest thing I would say is getting those kids to understand that while yes, these other districts, a lot of these kids start at 5 and 6 years old, as I did, and as a lot of the other kids do, they can learn this. This is something that they can take on, and whether they play at the college level or not is not necessarily the idea, but they can take this skill and play slow pitch or something that they want to do the rest of their life. And there are a few of our kids that have the chance to go play at the college level as well.
Well, there's always a chance. I have a personal story. I had a kid that I was coaching my son's baseball team, and he was 5th grade, and his name's Jim Neal. Jim Neal had never played any athletics in his life. Very affluent family, all this kind of stuff, and he came up for baseball, and so he got excited about it and everything. And I was always concerned about a fly ball that would hurt him, because he would miss it. Long story short, we're having sliding practice one day, and he sprained his ankle sliding into third base. And the next day he comes and said, "Coach, do you have a rule book?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I'm coming to every practice." And he sat in his lawn chair for a week and a half, and he ended up playing college baseball. And
learning the game.
And now he's a cardiologist. And so, you can't give up on kids at any age, and that's good. I'm glad we're doing that. In your other role of compliance,
yes.
How is that shaking out?
We've had, my biggest thing this year is making sure that we have a lot of new ADs, and making sure that those guys and gals know the expectations and the rules. And as you know, they change every year. It seems like there's something new. This year, the big talk around is, of course, all the NIL stuff, but we haven't gotten into that as much. But basically, ours is dealing with going back to your home school. That's been the one that we've dealt with the most. And that rule, I think, affects us positively, really, in our district, because we have a lot of kids that, are coerced or talked into going out of district, even though they live here, because they see, all the lights and the flashy stuff, but then decide that that's not where they want to be. They want to be with the people they grew up with. So that is something I think that is positive for our district, because those kids go outside, and we've had a lot want to come back and play for the people that that they know, and play for their community.
That grass isn't always greener.
That is correct.
On the other side, and
that is correct.
that is a good opportunity for kids. What has, I think, caused a lot of problems with the secondary interscholastic athletics is intercollegiate athletics.
Absolutely.
They think we have a portal at the high school level, and it's really not the same situation. We're not going to have somebody with a 60th year of eligibility.
No.
Those things, and so kids to move and change. I'm old school. I think if you start out here, you need to end up there.
That's right.
And if you don't, then you sit out a year.
That's right.
And then you wouldn't leave. You would probably stay.
You would probably stay.
Well, Krystel, thank you for working with that softball program. I think it's going to be great. And of course, compliance is every day.
It's an everyday thing. I just try to keep a smile on my face, because it's not always the best news for people, right?
Management opportunities.
That's exactly right.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And when we come back, we'll have Mick Wilson, the Executive Director of Athletics.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hales means that you have to be consistent, outgoing, and be dedicated, because students at Nathan Hale look up to the football team.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hale has taught me to be confident and disciplined, and always to be open-minded and always ready to work with people, no matter how difficult it is.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Our last guest of the day, Mick Wilson, the Executive Director of Athletics for the school district. And Mick, welcome to the show. You guys stay busy year-round. We were in the middle of, or the late middle of the fall season, and now we've already started practice with the winter.
Well, the playoffs are getting ready to ramp up. Well, have ramped up in volleyball. Cross country is getting ready to run regionals, and obviously football is in the heart of district play. So it's a busy time, and obviously now we're starting to probably get one eye toward our winter sports as all the seasons have begun practice. So it's always a busy time, but it's also an exciting time.
Boy, it's now there's certain start dates and everything. When can basketball start regular practice?
Basketball has started regular practice currently on October 1, as all winter sports are able to start on that date. So again, those guys are all moving forward, trying to get ready really for scrimmage. Upcoming scrimmages will be beginning here in the next couple of weeks, and we'll start seeing some of that. And again, excited about wrestling, swimming, and all across the board with our winter folks really starting to put a lot of long hours in. It's that time of year.
Yeah, it is. Let's talk about wrestling. Wrestling kind of waned a little bit through the 2000s, and it appears that there's a great deal of interest in the district now.
There is, Gil. When you and I first arrived, obviously we talked about trying to get wrestling going back in the right direction. I know sometimes it was some challenges. Some schools had stipends, others didn't. Mm-hmm. Some had wrestling mats, others didn't. So one thing we really tried to do when we saw the growth and the direction that we thought that girls wrestling was going to take, and obviously it's exploded onto the scene not only statewide but nationwide. Mm-hmm. With the girls wrestling has gone crazy, and we want to allow girls in our district to have that opportunity. So really it went hand in hand. We really reached out and started trying to push our boys wrestling to do some of the same things. And so I will say in all the years since I've returned, and probably in the last 20 years, I would say our participation numbers are as good as they've ever been, probably the best ever in a long, long time. And so Marlon Houston obviously is our resident on our staff. That's mm-hmm. our resident wrestling guru, former Division I wrestler and all-state wrestler here in Oklahoma. And Marlon has really done a great job of carrying the torch. Made connections back with Kenny Monday and some guys that are wrestling gurus throughout the state and in the country. So we were able to take a bunch of bond money and purchase new mats. We've got 5 new mats district-wide and probably looking to buy 2 more. Mm-hmm. And we also have started district wrestling middle school in every middle school across the board.
I was going to say the middle school's got to be really exciting for the numbers.
Much as we have similar that we've done with football, Gil, where we purchase helmets and help provide some of the equipment, we've done that with wrestling singlets and gear so that we can take that burden off of our schools and give mm-hmm. the kids opportunities, and I think that's helped with our numbers. Last year, Memorial Middle School had 35 boys wrestling, and so obviously Memorial High School didn't have wrestling, so guess what? Now they're having it because all those kids are going to go get an opportunity to wrestle at the varsity level. So it's been something exciting to see happen.
Are you able to find enough coaches?
Well, that's been a little of a challenge, but Marlon, again, with his connections, we've been able to reach out and get some guys that are well known in the wrestling community to come back and help us. So we've got some guys that help us part-time and are either adjuncts or volunteer coaches. And then we've been able to get some that are teachers and bring people to the district that help in the building. So it's been good across the board.
Well, I think it'll be great for the district to have that void as there been for a long time, especially at Booker T, that had a legendary past in wrestling with Mundy and Landrum and all those that wrestled there. So as we look at that, one of the crown jewels in our program is the Tournament of Champions. Happens in December, 27th through the 29th of December. Talk a little bit about the Tournament of Champions.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because I spent this morning working on, I got to the office early, obviously, about 7:15 and started work on not only some loose ends I've been working on with that, but working on Hall of Fame for next year and working on middle school basketball schedule. And so, but that was one of the things I had spent some time on this morning, and obviously getting our coaches' gifts and the things for the participants and some things like that. And then trying to work through who my new contact person will be with the change in management at the BOK Center. Mm-hmm. Eric, with Evan, who's been with us for a long, long time, moving on to a different position. Obviously, Eric Sliker, him and I are talking and getting those things going, but kind of trying to maneuver the new people and new contacts. And again, they're welcoming us with open arms, and we're going to be continue that partnership, but just working on the contacts and people that we're going to have to work through as we prepare to make all the details with safety and protocols there.
I know a lot of people wondered, what would be the history. Would it be history that we would not be back with a new management? But it looks like we are, and I think that's a great place for it to be.
I really feel like we've landed on the right spot for right now. Not to say that things can't change, but
Right.
they've really reached out to us in a time of need that we needed that partnership, and have been outstanding. And of course, the BOK Center and their management group are committed to the community and the endeavors of our district. And so it's been really, really good for us, and I hope we're able to stay there for as long as we can.
It's really a great opportunity, I think, for our patrons to be able to, in the class facility that it is, but the student athlete to have that experience in really an NBA style facility is an incredible thing for them. And I've told the story about the Booker T girl, who said, "How could it get any better than this? I played in the Tournament of Champions. We won the regional and played in the state tournament all in the same year."
Absolutely. It's just a great experience for kids, and the coaches appreciate it as well. And again, I think that the management staff there, we've really sold them on the product that we're able to put forward, and it's been a great partnership between Tulsa Public Schools and the BOK Center.
Well, good luck as we get through this fall, and we'll have you back, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
There'll be plenty to talk about.
We sure will. Thanks, Gil. We appreciate it.
You bet. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right, only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field, and that it's the littlest things that will make all the difference in the long run.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with, not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
We hope you enjoyed today's show featuring football, volleyball, and softball. We also had the principal from Monroe Demonstration School, Rob Kaiser, and one of his coaches talk about the great programs at Monroe. These men and women have made a commitment to our student athletes and are working diligently to fulfill their goal of providing an education-based athletics. As we reach the midpoint of the fall season, our winter sports have just begun their preseason practice. In the next month, we'll have basketball, wrestling, and swimming all in full swing. As we continue the 23-24 athletics year, we want you to thank you for all that you have done for our program and supporting our kids and our student athletes. We will see you again in 2 weeks with our next episode of Inside Tulsa Athletics.